Hello and welcome to prompt number 138. Just a reminder, I am still in Australia, so there will be no prompt entries at the end card. Feel free to join in just for fun, but this is a pre-made video, so I can't edit them in. Let's just get into it. All right, we have two prompts: telephone booth and skyscraper. All right, let's get into it. These two prompts go together so well, but I feel like I was really successful in having fun with the prompt. I don't know if it was the most creative and different and unexpected when putting these two words together, but I really enjoyed the results with this one and I had a lot of fun creating it. So if I'm happy with my art, I'm gonna say it was a success. So with our first idea, I just did the typical, we have a skyscraper city in the background, and in the foreground we have a character that has run all the way to a phone booth to, I guess, call for help because the city is being attacked. I wasn't really sure about what sort of creature or monster I wanted to have attacking the city, so apparently I doodled a really simple and quick dinosaur-looking creature. Another idea I had was having regular skyscraper buildings next to a really giant phone booth. Apparently I was feeling the dinosaur creature so much that I just really got into doodling him and forgot what I was even doing. I just realized I'm just zoning out, just drawing a really stupid dinosaur on the whole page instead of doing I don't know, ideas and things. So, whoops. Let's just get back to maybe making this a little more serious. But to be honest, I wasn't really feeling anything. I was really sold on that first sketch, and after doodling the dinosaur, I think it just kind of really distracted me. But I did try a few different poses for our character in the foreground on the phone to be in. Maybe they are just on the phone facing straight forward but then looking to the side all shocked. And the other pose was them being a little bit more exhausted and holding onto the phone booth to catch their breath, which I honestly really liked and ended up going with. So this is one of those prompts where even with the sketch that I was kind of happy with, I was a little concerned that it was going to end up kind of a meh illustration. I feel like I've been on a really long streak with my prompts where I haven't been super into the art. I haven't hated it, thankfully, but it's been art that I've felt so meh about that I'm not super proud of. This isn't an exception, but I think it's definitely a step in the right direction towards me liking my art a little more lately. Something I really like to do, and I feel like I've been neglecting to do lately, is putting a little more effort into a character in the foreground and the background being a little bit more on the simple side, but still being really fun and interesting and silly. So for the character in the foreground in this particular illustration, I'm really happy with how he turned out, and I know my art isn't the most detailed, it's not the most exciting, but I really feel like this pose and the emotions and the energy in this still pose is a lot better than my art usually has. So I'm really happy with how the character in the foreground turned out and the simplicity of the background in this illustration. So I feel like I succeeded in what I was trying to do. And even though there were a few bumps along the way and I learned a few things, made a few mistakes, I feel like I was able to come back and fix those things in a way that I liked. So let's get into it. Let's talk about those mistakes and how I'm pretty happy with this illustration. So because the line work isn't the most exciting, let's talk about the story of this illustration, and then I will talk about the coloring and my mistakes. So in the foreground, we have our character of this story, of this illustration, who is completely out of breath. They are exhausted. They have fallen to their knees, holding onto this little phone booth for support as they try to make a call to get help because there is a monster attacking the city. A city that apparently only has one single phone booth, and it is on the outskirts of the city, far, far away. Because this monster is attacking it, the power is out, so they had to run all the way over there. There are no cars, no taxis available because everyone has evacuated or is trying to save their own life. Well, I was going to say it's up to this guy to call authority to get help, but later I do draw a helicopter hovering around the dinosaur in the background, so help is already there, unless it's a news report who also won't call for help. Maybe this guy has the connections to the superhero of the city, so he has to go call the number for the superhero to get help. I don't know, maybe he also wants to just call his wife and say, "I love you and I'm going to die." I don't know his life. I should because I wrote his life, but I don't know his life. When it came to the illustration of the phone booth, I had to inquire my husband, does this count as a phone booth? Because booth sounds like something you walk into, but there's such a variety of styles of phone booths, and I wanted to make sure that we saw our character, and I didn't want to make this big giant box, and I think those little cute ones on a pole are really cute and adorable. So I think this counts as a phone booth. If you think it doesn't, then oh well, this is what I drew. And obviously our skyscrapers are in the background with the city where our dinosaur slash monster is attacking the city. So at first I was going to have this like a really cute, innocent drawing of this dinosaur who's just really confused and he just wants to get out of the city. He's misunderstood. He doesn't want to attack anybody. He's not violent. He just accidentally hurts people because he's so big and he's hangry. But if the thumbnail is any spoiler, I'm sure you noticed that I do end up adding blood later on, which always makes me love an illustration so much more, so no regrets. With the background, I was really hoping to go for a more simple look when it came to the city and the buildings, but things got a little out of hand. I ended up coloring the buildings a lot darker than I anticipated. I wanted to make sure that I avoided making the buildings too dark because I didn't want our character to blend into them, so I made them fade from dark to light. And originally I did want the buildings to be a little bit on the darker side because I was going to have this as a night scene, but as I started to color the background, I thought it would be really interesting just to add to the innocence of the monster and the whole scene to make it daytime. It's in the middle of the day, it's a bright, sunny, beautiful day. How many times did I just say day? And also I was starting to think that it would be really nice if there was a blue that matched the phone booth. It was the only thing that was a light blue and it was really going to stand out unless something else was that same blue. So I think it really ties everything together. I think the only thing I wish I did differently was make the guy's shirt yellow and white striped instead of red and white striped. That way the dinosaur would also be tied into everything else as well. But the fact that our character is based on the color red, we have his red shoes, red shirt, later we will have blood, I think that does give a nice contrast between the two characters, so I guess it works. I'm just so obsessed with kind of combining all of the characters throughout the illustration to help unify it and help it become one. But because these characters are so different, I think it's okay that they are so different in color. Though I guess our human character has quite a bit of yellow in his skin tone, so it might work. So like I said, I was really hoping to make the buildings a little bit more on the simple side. Obviously they are on the simple side. They are simple rectangles with dots for windows. I was originally going to put some shadows of buildings in the background with a simple color, like a shadowed silhouette of a building, but I decided not to just because I was afraid it might add a little too much clutter and I was wanting it to be simple. Maybe not simple in the sense that I didn't want much going on, but I wanted it to be a simplified background. I was afraid of making it too busy and that's fine. I'm really happy with the result as is. Though I will say, the next day after I drew this, I realized that phone booth cords on the phone themselves is usually very hefty metal so that people can't go around snipping them off, and that ended up being the main point of this illustration. The guy has run all the way to the phone booth just to find out that the cord of the phone has been snipped off somehow, rendering this phone useless and he can't even call for help, which is why he looks so distraught. I made the cord of the phone into a normal spirally plastic cord, so whoops. I guess whatever world this is where they have giant dinosaurs, they also have phone cords that aren't very hefty. So that's it. I put some drips of blood leading from the city to our character and then put some blood on his hands and clothes to suggest maybe he was helping people. I don't think he himself was harmed, but he does have blood on his hands and clothes because, well, look at the background. There's a lot of blood. Either way, I love this illustration. There's blood all over the buildings, just terror, even though it's adorable. I love it. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hi, hello, it's me. Just a reminder, I am in Australia right now, so there will be no end card submissions, but feel free to use #KaseyThePrompt if you want to join in for fun. All right, stay golden. Bye.